This episode of Adventure Tech is brought to you by Megawheels. Today we got the D2 Pro. We're going to unbox and fully build this. This is what it looks like coming out of the box right here. These are the parts that you need to assemble. This is basically after you remove the box and any of the zip ties and bubble wrap, this is what you're going to be left with to deal with. I got to say right out of the box, this is a beautiful bike. And I really shouldn't call it a bike because this is more like a moto. This is an e-moto. This is a serious machine right here. And with the 14, 17-inch size tires, this really sits up high, so it's good for taller riders. This is everything that comes with it right here. Everything arrived in really, really good shape. It was packaged very, very well. And you got a toolkit that comes with it as well, with every single tool that you need to put this bike together. But I do recommend making sure to get all the bolts torqued to their spec before you take this bike out and ride it. Got some seriously aggressive tread on the tires. This is the front tire. This is a 17-inch tire. Some e-bikes I've seen go a little bit too fast in my opinion for how they're built. When you got something like this, you don't have to worry about this. This is built for high speeds and the type of aggressive riding that you're going to want to do on something like this. So right away, I had to begin with getting that front tire on there. Using a stand is ideal, but I did just build the D2 without using any sort of stand, and it wasn't that difficult. When you use a stand, you can get away with doing this by yourself very easily. I can easily align the front tire and use this little 2x4 piece to prop it up to the perfect height. Just make everything super easy here. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the assembly for the front axle is correct, using the bushings in the right order. You're going to want to put the bolt through on the far side, use the smaller bushing, then put the front tire on, then the larger bushing, and then the bolt on the end. This is essential that you do this correctly, or else the brake system is not going to work. There we go, we're all set, and now we're going to work on the handlebar assembly. The manual actually tells you to do some of this in a different order, but I just like getting this handlebar up and out of the way. It makes some of the other steps easier, and it keeps the handlebars and everything safe from getting damaged while you're moving other parts of the bike around. Taking the time to make sure all these bolts are really nice and tight, because this is going to be for my steering. Steering, brakes, and wheels are the most important part of your bike. If you lose power, that's one thing, but if you lose control, that's a whole nother thing. You go ahead and maneuver the handlebars so that you can pull the brakes over and get them installed. You can't get it on. You can actually remove the entire bracket to make it a little easier. Then you're going to want to put the throttle over the top of the handlebar as well. Make sure these are all pretty tight, but don't over tighten them. You want the brakes to be very tight. But the throttle, if you over tighten the throttle, it will get sticky where the throttle will be stuck open. So if you have any issues with the throttle being stuck, it means that the throttle is too tight. Next step is to go ahead and remove this little part here that's holding the brakes open. That will release the other piece of plastic that's inside the brake pads, keeping it safe for shipping. Then you can go ahead and install the brake caliper and pad setup onto the rotor on the front wheel. Next thing you're gonna do is go ahead and take the rear shock and get that in place. Having this stand again is crucial right at this moment. It's really helping a lot. All you gotta do is pick the bike up and get it aligned. Once it's aligned, get the bolt in there. This bolt has a specific torque setting as well, so make sure before you go out and ride this that you do get this torque down. Generally, local hardware stores or automotive shops can lend out a torque wrench. They usually lend it out for free too, as long as you cover the charge, and then they'll refund you once they get it back. So that's it right there, and then I take the mud flap, put that down. It keeps the bike nice and safe from dirt that's getting kicked up. And then it's time to go ahead and put on the front fender. Super easy to do, removing the screws and then go ahead and screwing it back in. Really only one way you can put this fender on, so it's hard to mess up. And the bike's really looking nice, to be honest. I'm really seeing what it's gonna be like once it's done. This is probably the most difficult part here though. You're gonna wanna remove this bracket here. This is gonna hold the front light as well as the front badge cover in place. You're gonna go ahead and take that bracket and attach it right here. Use the slotted hole to attach it. You might need to adjust this a little bit later. I try not to over tighten this. This is just plastic, so you could break it pretty easily. Before I go ahead and finish the handlebar assembly and getting that all set up, I want to make sure to get the control unit installed. Again, this is super easy to do. Make sure not to over tighten this, and then go ahead and plug it in. And this is pretty satisfying right here, because once you're done plugging it in, it looks a little bit messy, but this wire cover right here does a nice job of covering everything up. Take your time with it, do it well, make sure it's real tight, and it'll look good and protect the wires for a very long time. There you go, it looks nice. Ready to put that front cover plate on. We gotta plug in the front headlight first and get it into a better position to get it in its final spot. Now this front cover plate's a little bit difficult. You're gonna wanna maneuver the brake cable through it. You see it's got an area where it fits through perfectly. After that, you can maneuver the front light onto the mounting point for that screw that we took off that little bracket with. Once you get that tightened up, it's gonna tighten the front bracket for the headlight as well as that front cover. For this front brake piece, you want to take the sheathing and slide it down to this little holder and tighten it on. I believe this is the correct way to do it. Then the brake cable can slide still up and down as your shocks travel up and down. One of the final steps is installing this thing that they call the airbag. It's basically just a little foam pad. If you follow the steps that I just used, you can get it on here and make it look pretty nice. So there you go, that's the front assembly. It's looking good. I like the headlight. It's got a nice aggressive look. It's got 3 LEDs, kind of looks like a spider. And it comes only with one of the foot pegs installed. So we're gonna go ahead and put the other foot peg on. Put the spring on just like this. Use a little bit of force to hold this open. You're gonna feel the spring compressing. Get that pin in there, get the washer in, and go ahead and get that cotter pin in there. Make sure this cotter pin's in there well, because this little pin is going to be everything that's holding this assembly together. You're going to be putting all your weight right here on this foot peg. There we go. We're ready to go. Gotta say, this bike is beautiful. The price is pretty reasonable, and don't forget, use our promo code AdventureTech. You can get an additional discount on this. Help support our channel at the same time, which we always appreciate. The aggressive tires are a lot nicer than I expected. And here's actually the battery cavity inside under the seat. There's a little extra room too if you want to get creative and make a little container or something to hide some things. In our next video, we're going to be installing the battery and taking this out on an adventure. Not only can you get to the battery, but you can get into the bike in a lot of different areas, so you can do easy maintenance on this. A lot of people are actually customizing these bikes. But yeah, what a beautiful bike, huh? Definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel because the next video is gonna be amazing. We're gonna go take this out and see what it can do. Since electric dirt bikes have a lot more torque than your traditional gas bikes, I'm interested to see what that's all about. Go ahead and drop any comments in the description or questions about the install. I think I covered pretty much everything here, but I've been doing this a long time, so sometimes I forget to mention some things here and there. Go ahead and use the links in the comments or the description if you want to pick one of these up. It is a beautiful bike. And if you're a taller rider, this is going to be pretty good for you. Stay tuned for that next video coming up. Subscribe for free by clicking that subscribe button and make sure to click that bell icon. You can be one of the first people over here to see how it goes.